So you just had a ride in our B-25 PBJ, but you were
I was in a night reconnaissance squadron, Air Force National Guard in 1954. And so it was just after the Korean War, and our outfit was night reconnaissance. We had B-26s that were stripped of all their armament. They wound up flying in pairs. One of them up above would drop a flare, and the bottom one would wind up with taking pictures at night. And the whole purpose of that was that, as the colonel explained when he was there in Korea, that North Koreans would wind up with rebuilding the bridge at night, driving stuff across it, taking all the materials down off of it, and it was night reconnaissance and discovered that, and so the day bombing wound up taking the piers out. And so that was the mission, but it didn't last long. And I wasn't in the Guard long because I went to college, and so I was really 8 years of military obligation, mostly Air Force Reserve.
So you were actually aboard the B-26s?
I got to wind up flying in one of them.
What position was that?
That was in the nose.
In the nose, as
in the nose. That's where we wound up putting the cameras. I was a photography person, and so I loaded the cameras and got them set up for taking. They just did them daytime in the Guard unit, and we had 108 feet of film that we wound up with developing and labeling all of them and putting those on the colonel's desk. We wound up with beating the Little Rock Guard by 10 or 15 minutes, so we were pretty proud.
That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. And I just wound up with coming up at a time when we weren't in harm's way. There wasn't anything actively going on. And so
there's nothing wrong with that.
I wind up with, I salute these guys that put their lives in harm's way.
What was it like being in our B-25 versus what you remember of the B-26?
As far as crawl space and this type of thing, I couldn't tell a whole lot of difference. Talking to one of the pilots out there, he just took a look at when I said a B-26 and pointed to the one over the side. He said we weren't near as fast. So it was a fantastic ride, well worth it.
Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed your ride, and thank you for taking the extra time to talk with us.
You're quite welcome.